So let's start with a basic frequency analysis. So before going into SPSS, it's important to understand the survey instrument itself. So what were the questions asked and what was the intention of the study being conducted? So this survey was a survey conducted to determine the interactivity features within Marriott, Hyatt, and Fairmont websites. So the survey administrators wanted to know which of the three websites was considered the most interactive, and what were the best features of each of the websites being listed. Beyond asking about these interactivities, so there were 14 questions asked, 1 through 14. Things like enables two-way communication, is interactive through website tools, has multiple ways to be accessed, etc. These were each asked on a 7-point Likert scale. So from 1, strongly disagree, to 7, strongly disagree. If we go down, we can see that there are additional questions being asked. Question 15 asked, how many times in an average month do you use this website? Question 16 asked more expertise-related questions. I am an expert in using the internet, and I am an expert in using the internet to book hotel rooms specifically. And then the survey ended with 4 demographic questions, asking about sex, age, race, and marital status. So now that we have a good sense of our survey, we'll go back to SPSS, and I'd like you to open the hotel website SPSS data file from Web Campus. So here we have our survey instrument converted into an SPSS data file. So you can see here, each respondent had its own ID. These are our 14 questions, Likert scale questions, asking about interactivity behaviors. Question 15 asked about usage. 16 and 17 were about expertise, and then our 4 demographic questions. This data has also been updated to include labels, so we know what AVG2 is, for instance, and how it compares to AGV6. So it's very useful from a labeling perspective because these are not clear indicators of what the statements were, whereas these are the actual statements used in the survey. We've also made sure to include the measures accurately. So all of the Likert scale data, apologies, this should be nominal for survey ID, but all of the Likert scale data are included correctly here as scale. Our question on usage is an example of ordinal. How many times in an average month do you use this website? You could also treat it as scale because it is given on a Likert scale rating. So scale or ordinal would both work in this case. And then the demographic information are nominal. Age, sex, race, and marital status don't have any rankings, so we just indicate them as nominal data. So let's go ahead and do our first frequency analysis. So please click on Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and choose Frequencies. So here a window will pop up, and it will basically ask us which variables would we like to know the frequencies of. Let's choose sex as our example. So we'll move it over to the variables box. For now, we're going to leave all other options unselected except for display frequency tables. This will tell us if we have any missing values that we need to be considerate of. And then hit OK. So here's our statistics table. We have 56 valid responses and 0 missing. Excellent. So let's look at our frequency table or frequency analysis. So we can see here that 22 males and 34 females completed our survey for a total of 56. And the cumulative percent indicates that both sexes taken together also equals 100%. That's obvious when you have 2 variables, but what if we did the same analysis and this time we chose race and move that over? And we can remove sex this time. We'll just run the variable on race and we'll hit OK. So here again, we can see 0 missing values, a valid N of 56. And in this case, our cumulative percent is very telling. If I were to ask you, for example, how many of our respondents were white, Asian, or Hispanic and Latino, you wouldn't need to add up these percentages on your own. You can simply look at the cumulative percent column to tell me that there are 37.5%. So frequency analysis is essentially the analysis of proportions and percentages.